Hi! So, today, story time with Drew. But before I begin, I just want to say the first one was absolutely terrible. I was so sick, I just came up with the story of me being sick and, not being able to move at all. That was terrible. But today, I have a good one. Today, it's a story that I like to call the wooden spoon incident. And my best friend Kai, he was there for me when that happened. Since we went out with a group of friends, it all happened. Now to begin from the very beginning. So, back when I was younger, I spent the night with my friend Kai, and it was a party night in a sense, since my family, well, not blood related, I just call them family because they've been in my life for so long. We're having a barbecue, and we all hung out, and there were some new kids who moved in. My friend Kyle, was friends with them, so we hung out with them. Now, I was around 13 at this time. The oldest was 18, and everyone was in the age groups in between. And it was, dark at night, and us being young teens decided, you know what, let's walk around town. We'll be fine. It's a big group, like 6 or so. We should be fine. It will be fine. It wasn't fine. So, we headed out, went through a forest, to kind of maneuver through Wilsonville in a sense. And before we headed out, for some reason my friend Kai brought a wooden spoon with him. Now, in my mind, at the time I was like, okay, whatever. Now that I look back on it, I think he wanted to use it as a weapon he could smack people with, since I don't know if his mom ever did that. I don't think she did. Know her personally. She's too nice to do that. Anyway, heading downtown, walking through, we pass by a bowling alley, and then we see this one car just sitting there with its lights on, 2 people in there, and we're starting to walk by them, and then we hear the car's engine start to rev. So okay, we think they see us. They spin out of the driveway, come out of the parking lot, nearly hit us, and the eldest of the group decides, you know what, I have a great idea. I'm gonna take this wooden spoon and I'm gonna chuck it. Or in other words, I'm gonna yeet it at the car. Well, that was a terrible idea, because the spoon broke, and so did the back windshield of the truck. And the truck immediately stopped. We heard some yelling, and then a U-turn, and it started coming after us. So we all split up into groups of 2, just kind of spread around everywhere, hid by the stores, jumped into some bushes, and we heard the car go away after around 20 or so minutes, so we all globbed back together and decided, let's go to the main downtown of Wilsonville. We cut through some blackberry bushes, try to not get cut. By this point our legs looked like we just ran through some barbed wire, and it was bad. But as we go there, we get through, we managed to find a way through downtown Wilsonville, stop at a 7-Eleven, get some food and drinks, tell the clerk about it before we left, the whole situation that just happened right before we left. Headed to Starbucks that was right by an Albertsons, that's now closed, sadly. And we just hang out there for a little bit. And I reached for my phone, wasn't there. And I remembered that I left it back at the house, so we headed back. And as we were walking down, we thought we heard the same car rev at us. Turns out it was just some dude in his driveway just revving the car and getting out. It freaked us all out for a moment, and we ran again. But yeah, a lot of good memories of Wilsonville, since even though I grew up in Canby as a kid, Wilsonville was right there, and my best friend lived in Wilsonville, so I was just once a week or a few times a month, go down to Wilsonville, say hi to my family, say hi to my friend Kai, and just have a good time. And there came a point in my life where a lot of things were going wrong. And I wasn't informed of, what was going on. I was just kind of, kept in the dark since my parents just wanted to do what was best for me. But it wasn't until, say, like 2 years ago that I was told everything. I have paperwork too to, vouch for me. But when I was around a little bit before I turned 14, there was a whole situation with my dad that was going on. And it's going to be a whole story for another video, since that's like the main backstory of my life, along with a lot of other things. But my dad inevitably did something that, he should have thought more about instead of just doing it. But yeah, sorry to get a little bit down at that time. How about I talk about something funny or a little bit more cheerful? So it was back when I lived in Canby. My friend Gavin, who at that time was the best friend, and if he's watched this right now, hey, missed you, bud. I'll have to come down to Cali to see you again. But there was one time I was hanging out with him. We were just hanging out at his house, bouncing on the trampoline, which I thought was, as a kid, trampolines, those are one of the best things to have. Like, hands down. Like a pool, yeah, a trampoline is just, oh, you're the cool kid on the block now. And he also had a rope swing, which, granted, it was not what you expect by a rope swing. It was a very long rope just strapped to a very thick branch. It was thick. And it was fun. But that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that he made himself, not his parents. But he decided, hey, they can do it. I can do it. Come on. Come on. And so we set it up by a tree right next to his driveway, which was just a little bit of gravel. And there was a piece of wood that he just poked a hole in, tied a double knot in it, so it's like, oh look, it's a little wooden seat. It was a bit high off the ground for me since I was very, 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 very short. I could probably lean on my past self and just be like, hey. But we managed to jump up and sit on it. There was a time I got on it, it started spinning. When I was just sitting, I was like, what was going on? And it was spinning and spinning, and the rope snapped. And there was no dirt underneath me. It was just the wood plank and gravel. It was like a good few feet off the ground. And as you would expect, gravity just went, and I couldn't stand for about 10 minutes, since, God, wood and gravel do not mix, especially when falling. Just, ow. And by that day he realized, yeah, I'll just leave it to my parents to make rope swings and not risk breaking my ass. Quite literally. But that's it for story time with Drew. I'm gonna be making more with all the stories I have, since I got a lot. But till then, stay tuned, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I think it's around there somewhere, just down below. But other than that, bye.